So we're here in Boston at Bio for the Bio Hub, and I have Adam Mendelsohn with me, who's the CEO of Vivani Medical. How are you?
I'm doing great, Max. How are you?
Yeah, it's great to have you. First of all, just give a bit of context on yourself, like who you are,
Sure.
and what you're doing here.
Yeah, so I'm Adam Mendelsohn. I'm the CEO of Vivani Medical, as you said. I'm here at Bio to meet with potential partners and other people in the sector, and to give a presentation tomorrow morning in which I will be providing an outline of what we are doing at Vivani Medical. Myself, I have primarily a technical background. The company was a spin-out from a bioengineering PhD program that I completed a number of years ago, and we've been working on a brand new drug delivery technology which enables an implant like this, a very small implant that goes under the skin to provide steady and continuous levels of medicine over many months to try to improve upon a real challenge in people not taking their medicine as prescribed for chronic diseases generally. Starting initially with medications for type 2 diabetes and obesity, the GLP-1 class that everyone is very familiar with because of the success of Ozempic and Mounjaro and Zepbound and some of the other brands that are out there. And we're really excited to potentially be able to offer a highly differentiated solution that we think can help people achieve the potential benefits that these molecules are capable of without having to worry about remembering to take a medicine on a frequent basis.
Yeah, just talk us through the journey so far, like how you started, how you've gotten to this point.
Yeah, so we started out with business plan competitions during graduate school. And we ended up sharing first place in the UC Berkeley business plan competition a number of years ago at a time when the idea was in exercise. We didn't think we were actually going to start a company.
Okay.
But we ended up, because of that competition winning, we ended up competing in other competitions, both domestically and internationally, and won or placed in most of them, and got the confidence once we finished the degree to start a company. Initially in the basement of the bioengineering building on UC Berkeley campus with 2 desks and 1 bench and 3 people, and slowly but surely finding our way into a somewhat bigger incubator off campus and eventually into our own facility, and over time building a team of seasoned executives with deep experience in all of the functional areas that are necessary for growing a biotech company.
Yeah.
But it's been a long, rewarding, and adventurous journey to get to this point.
Yeah, and I imagine, like, just in terms of the market's been tough at the moment, that journey won't have come without its challenges, I imagine.
Sure.
How do you deal, like, mindset-wise, like going through those particular challenges? How do you deal with them? Maybe give us an example of a couple that stick out.
I mean, there are definitely have been times throughout the history of our company when I have wondered, we don't have the result that we had hoped to achieve, or financing can be challenging, and we've been able to persevere, keep our head down, figure out what's the next best step to work on, and each time we've been able to succeed in that next step, which has unlocked the opportunity to continue to move forward. And it's just been like that, one after the other, staying alive, continuing to make progress, continuing to persevere. Now we're in a very good position with where we are with our development and our team. I suspect that the future will bring similar challenges because we still have a ways to go before we have a product on the market and generating revenue and being profitable. But it does take this mindset of being committed, dedicated, and at the end of the day, reactionary, flexible, smart, and able to navigate all the challenges that come your way and stay standing and continuing to make progress.
What would that be your message to other people who struggle from this startup to becoming more established?
So I think that there are 2 things that one should think about. One is, does it still make sense? If you take a fresh start look at where you are, based on what you've learned along the journey, does moving forward still make sense? With everything that's happened in the past being sunk cost. And then if it does, yes, then 2, being willing to persevere and continue to make progress and continue to move forward. There are very few examples of ventures of my friends and others who have started where what they set out to do initially just worked. Right? You set out to do something, then you get a more deep expertise in what you're working on, and you find a spot where hopefully you get the traction and you can move forward. or you don't, right? So being honest with yourself along the way, but then if there is the next step forward, could continue to make the progress.
Yeah.
And fortune favors the bold. So
Yeah.
you have to try and be willing to fail in order to have the chance to succeed. And that's certainly a mantra that I think I try to live by.
Yeah, I love that.
The other one is I'd rather regret the things that I did instead of regretting the things that I did not do.
Yeah.
So do, and at least you tried and you had the opportunity, and maybe you'll succeed.
Yeah. No, I love that. And you've had some big milestones recently.
So we've started a first clinical study, which has been a long journey to bring this brand new technology into humans, and we're excited to learn how the technology performs, to gain insights into the future development of that program and future applications of the pipeline, and hopefully confirm the safety and tolerability of the device. That'll be a big, important first step in the clinical development phase of our company. In addition to that, we also have been generating really exciting new data with one of our pipeline programs, which is delivering semaglutide, which is the drug that's in Ozempic and Wegovy, the big blockbuster products that are out there. We've now shown 6 months with a single implant of really compelling weight loss preclinically, and we're excited to chart the path for that program to move forward into the clinic.
Yeah.
And how else we can apply this technology to newer, latest and greatest molecules that are out there. We think there's a big opportunity to free people from the burden of remembering to continuously take their medication, which only about 50% of people do on a regular basis.
Wow.
The data is surprising to most people because maybe you and I probably take our medicine regularly, but there's a large segment of people that don't, and they suffer consequences from lost opportunity for efficacy, but also in the case of GLP-1s, when you stop taking your medicine, the drug levels go down, and when they come back up, that's when people experience the gastrointestinal side effects of the treatment. So we want to avoid lapses in exposure, avoid missed doses, so that people can reap the benefits of these treatments without having to suffer unnecessary tolerability consequences that inevitably happen for the 50% of people that don't take their medicine regularly.
Yeah.
So having this option, we think, can be compelling, differentiated, and attractive to really all the stakeholders that are involved with an individual's care.
Yeah. And what's next for you guys? Like when you look at the bigger picture, what's to come?
Yeah. So I mean, the first trial is an early phase 1 trial. Studying the technology, and it will be very important in our development path. But ultimately, moving that into what could be an efficacy-oriented study, and finding collaborators with whom we can work to continue to advance our pipeline programs forward, as well as finding new applications, new molecules. GLP-1 is where we're starting because the opportunity is so compelling in our view. The clinical need is so dire, but the technology is a platform. And we do think that it can be applied across a wide range of molecules and disease areas.
Yeah.
And we want to make it available as broadly as we possibly can. And that's, as I look out the next 2 or 3 years, where I anticipate us spending more of our time both advancing the clinical program with GLP-1s and looking at these other applications of the platform technology.
I love that. And I think I think people rarely do this exercise, but if you sit and see where you come from, what you've achieved so far. I know that's sometimes a tough thing because you've got so far to go in a long journey, but you must be incredibly proud.
When I take the time to take a step back,
Yeah.
and I get out of the weeds and the details of the last challenge that we just overcame, and all of the stress that was associated with that, yes.
Yeah.
When I take that time to take a step back and say, look where we've come, look at all that we've done in all these years, it really is incredible. But then you got to get back to work. You got to go back, dive down into the weeds again, and overcome the next obstacles and pave the road for the future obstacles that are yet to come for the team to be able to succeed. But yes, you're right. Every once in a while, getting out of there and taking a moment to get some perspective is beneficial.
Rightly so. Thanks so much for coming on. It's been an absolute
Thank you so much for having me. It's great
you.
conversation.